7 Shocking Truths. Why she ghosted you after mind-blowing sex. You had an unforgettable night. The chemistry was insane, the connection felt real, and you thought, damn, we have something here. But then, radio silence. She vanishes like a ghost, leaving you confused, frustrated, and wondering what the hell just happened. Was it something you did? Something you said? Or was she just playing games? The truth is, getting ghosted after mind-blowing sex isn't as random as it seems. There are real, sometimes brutal, reasons why she disappeared without a trace. Some of them might surprise you, and others, well, they might sting a little. But if you want to understand the unspoken rules of post-sex dynamics and make sure this never happens to you again, keep watching, because we're breaking down 7 shocking truths about why she ghosted you after incredible sex. 1. The emotional disconnect. You might be replaying that night in your head, wondering how things went from mind-blowing passion to complete radio silence. The truth is, no matter how intense the sex was, if she didn't feel a deeper emotional connection, it might have just been a moment for her, nothing more. While physical chemistry can be electric, some women crave an emotional bond to keep the fire burning beyond the bedroom. Maybe the pillow talk fell flat, maybe she didn't feel seen beyond her body, or maybe she just realized that for her, sex and emotional intimacy go hand in hand. If she walked away despite the heat between the sheets, it's not about how good the sex was. It's about how she felt once the pleasure faded. 2. It was just a fling for her. Not every woman who dives into bed with you is looking for something long-term. Sometimes she just wanted a wild night, nothing more. Maybe the chemistry was explosive, the passion was undeniable, and the sex was mind-blowing, but that doesn't mean she saw it as anything beyond the moment. She could have been in a phase where she was exploring her desires, satisfying a craving, or simply enjoying the thrill of a no-strings-attached encounter. If she wasn't emotionally invested from the start, she might have already decided in her mind that it was a one-time thing, no matter how intense it felt for you. Maybe she was fresh out of a relationship and just needed a release. Maybe she wanted to check something off her bucket list. Or maybe she just doesn't do repeats. Whatever the reason, she ghosted because, for her, it ended the second she walked out that door. 3. She got what she wanted. Not every woman who sleeps with you is looking for something beyond that night. Sometimes she just wanted to scratch an itch and move on. Maybe she was curious about you, wanted to see if the chemistry was real, or simply needed a night of passion to clear her head. For some women, sex isn't always about emotional connection. It can be about power, validation, or proving something to themselves. Maybe she wanted to feel desired, to get over an ex, or just to experience a wild, no-strings-attached night. And once she got what she came for, whether it was an orgasm, an ego boost, or a thrilling escape, there was no real reason for her to stick around. She wasn't playing games, she wasn't confused, and she wasn't waiting for you to chase her. She got what she wanted, and for her, that was enough. 4. Post-sex clarity hit her. That night, the chemistry was undeniable, the passion was raw, and for a moment it felt like everything just clicked. But for her, something shifted after the pleasure wore off. Sex has a way of bringing clarity, sometimes brutally so. Maybe in the heat of the moment, she was swept up in the lust, the rush, the excitement. But afterward, when her heartbeat slowed and reality set in, she realized she wasn't as into you as she initially thought. Maybe she saw red flags she ignored before, maybe she felt a pang of regret, or maybe she just understood, deep down, that she wasn't ready for something more. It wasn't about the sex itself, it was about what came after, when the high faded and her true feelings surfaced. Instead of facing an awkward conversation, she chose the easy way out, disappearing. 5. She's seeing someone else. You might have had an unforgettable night together, but if she ghosted afterward, there's a chance you were never her main focus to begin with. Maybe she had an ex lingering in the background, a boyfriend she was on shaky terms with, or another guy she was more emotionally invested in. Some women step outside their usual situations for excitement, curiosity, or even revenge. But once that momentary thrill fades, reality comes knocking. She could have woken up next to you with a mix of pleasure and guilt, realizing she was playing with fire. Maybe she had no intention of making you a regular thing, but got caught up in the heat of the moment. Or maybe she was testing the waters, seeing if you could be something more, only to realize that she still had unfinished business elsewhere. Whatever the case, when a woman ghosts after great sex, it's often because her heart, or priorities, are already tied up with someone else. Instead of explaining, she chose silence. Not because the sex wasn't great, but because it was never meant to be more than a detour on her path back to someone else. 6. You came off as too clingy after. The sex was amazing, you felt a connection, and naturally you wanted more. So, you texted, maybe right after, maybe the next morning, maybe a few times. But instead of responding, she disappeared. Why? Because you may have come off as too clingy, too eager, or too available. Some women crave that post-sex space to process their emotions, and if you flooded her phone with messages or acted like you were already planning the next round, she might have felt smothered. Attraction thrives on mystery and confidence, and if you gave off a vibe that screamed too much too soon, it could have killed the spark instantly. In her mind, instead of a passionate, confident man who lets things unfold naturally, she saw someone leaning in too hard. And that was enough for her to walk away without a word. 7. She was never that interested in the first place. You might be sitting there wondering, how could she ghost me after sex like that? But here's the raw truth. She was probably never that into you to begin with. Maybe she got caught up in the heat of the moment, the excitement of desire, or the thrill of feeling wanted. But once the rush faded, so did her interest. For some women, great sex isn't enough to spark something deeper. Maybe she enjoyed the physical connection, but felt no emotional pull. Maybe she was just satisfying a craving without ever intending to go back for seconds. Or maybe, in the harshest reality, she knew all along that this was just a one-time thing. The chemistry in bed might have been electric, but if she never saw you as someone she truly wanted beyond the sheets, she had no reason to stay. Instead of pretending, she simply walked away, leaving you to wonder what went wrong. Conclusion. There you have it. The 7 eye-opening, sometimes harsh, truths about why she vanished after what felt like an unforgettable night. And here's the thing, it wasn't just about the sex. Whether it was an emotional disconnect, a fleeting moment for her, or even a reality check that hit her after the pleasure wore off, her silence spoke louder than words. But now you know the signs. You understand the hidden reasons. And most importantly, you can step up your game, not just in bed, but in how you connect, communicate, and carry yourself beyond the sheets. Because the real secret? The best intimacy isn't just physical. It's in the way you make her feel when the night is over. If this video hit home, drop a comment, share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more raw, unfiltered insights on love, sex, and relationships. Stay confident, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.